Hey, Mike.
Yeah, what's going on?
Hey, have you ever heard of Turbo Debt?
No, what is that? Something to get me into debt faster?
No, Turbo Debt is not to get you in debt faster. It's to help you get out of debt. Do you have over $10,000 in credit card, personal loans, medical, or payday loans?
Of course I have debt. That's the American way.
Au contraire, mon frere. Turbo Debt will give you the option to break the debt cycle and start putting money in your pocket.
That's awesome.
Over 70% of Americans die with credit card debt. Do not let this happen to you. Turbo Debt will give you an option to break the debt cycle and start putting money in your pocket.
That's awesome.
If you have over $10,000 in credit card debt and personal loans, medical, or payday loans, they can help. Go to turbodebt.com/tech time. Again, that's turbodebt.com/tech time, all capitalized, for a free consultation today. Turbo Debt is a proud sponsor of this week's episode of Tech Time Radio.
Broadcasting across the nation, from the East Coast to the West, keeping you up to date on technology while enjoying a little whiskey on the side, with leading-edge topics, along with special guests, to navigate technology in a segmented, stylized radio program. The information that will make you go, Pull up a seat, raise a glass with our hosts as we spend the next hour talking about technology for the common person. Welcome to Tech Time Radio with Nathan Mum.
Welcome to Tech Time with Nathan. I'm the show that makes you go, Technology News of the Week, the show for the everyday person talking about technology, broadcasting across the nation with insightful segments on subjects weeks ahead of the mainstream media. We welcome our radio audience of 35 million listeners to an hour of insightful technology news. Each week, our show covers the weekly top technology subjects without any political agenda. We verify the facts, and we do it with a sense of humor in less than 60 minutes. And of course, with a little whiskey on the side. We're live streaming during our show on 5 of the most popular platforms. I guess we have to put X in there as a popular platform again, because you're going to listen to the Nathan Nugget, and he'll explain why. But we are on X, YouTube, Twitch.tv, Facebook, and LinkedIn. We encourage you to visit us online at techtimeradio.com at any time, 24/7. Or you can also become a Patreon supporter by visit patreon.com/Tech Radio. I'm Nathan Mum, your host, a technologist with over 30 years of technology expertise, working for Fortune 500 companies across the country. Today in studio, we have a co-host, Alessandra Esposito.
Hello.
Welcome to the show today.
Oh, thank you for having me.
Yes, thank you for filling in for Mike. And we have Mark Gregoire, who is running a little bit late to the show, but he is here for his whiskey mumble that he cannot wait to share with us.
He's not late. He's just scheduled to come later.
That's right. He's scheduled to come later. That's a better way to say it. There you go. Mark, of course, is our whiskey connoisseur and a senior executive with a 30-year record of establishing, implementing, and refining cutting-edge solutions for technology. He's a skilled whiskey drinker, and he's our go-to pick-of-the-day expert.
Mm-hmm.
We are friends with different backgrounds, but bring the best technology show possible every week for our family, friends, and fans to enjoy. Welcome, everyone. Let's start today's show.
Now on today's show.
All right. Today on the show, we have a story about a locked USB drive worth $235 million in Bitcoin that could be unlocked, but it's not. We're going to explain that. The drive's owner lost the password, and a team of hackers believe they can open it, but the catch is he does not want it opened. Then we're going to take a look at Scales AI, which is the military chatbot, and it is now being in place for our military to have AI decision-makings to compete against ChatGPT. Is this the start of Skynet? We'll explain that a little bit later more. And could this technology lead to autonomous decision-making? We explore that. And just think if you're on Instagram and all of a sudden you went and decided to look at your bio, and all of a sudden it said terrorist. It came right on up. If that happened to you, probably not going to be in a very good day. We're going to be talking about what Instagram failed to do and why we had information regarding what they're going to be doing to take care of. And then Alessandra is going to be talking to us about this new matchmaking aspects of online dating apps. Can't wait to see that. And of course, we have our Spooky Letters episode segment. So don't click on that link. Now, we are going to also be talking about our pick of the day whiskey tasting during the commercials. We have selected a whiskey pick of the day, and our pick of the day today, I'm going to give you a little bit of heads up. It's the Balboa Rye Whiskey, like Rocky Balboa. So its name, Rocky. So it's going to be there. We're going to either give it a 0, 1, or 2 thumbs up by the end of the show. So sit back, raise a glass, and welcome to Tech Time with Nathan Mum. Now, let's go to the latest headlines in the world of technology.
Here are our top technology stories of the week.
All right, here you go, Alessandra. A locked USB drive worth $235 million in Bitcoin.
That's a lot.
That is a lot.
That's a lot.
So let's go to David Weidman for more on this story.
What if you had a locked USB drive worth $235 million in Bitcoin that can be unlocked, and you declined to unlock it? After months of work, Unciphered's hackers believe they can open Stephen Thomas's locked treasure chest, and they're ready to use their secret cracking technique to do it. The only problem is, Thomas doesn't seem to want their help. Thomas had already made a handshake deal with 2 other cracking teams a year earlier, he explained. In an effort to prevent the 2 teams from competing, he had offered each a portion of the proceeds if either one could unlock the drive. And he remains committed, even a year later, even though neither of the teams has shown any sign of pulling off the decryption trick that Unciphered has already accomplished. The company Unciphered has the most valuable lock-picking tools in the cryptocurrency world, but no lock to pick. Back to you in the studio.
So let's talk about this, all right?
lot
So
to pick.
we got Stephen Thomas, who lost his password on an encrypted USB drive holding 702 Bitcoins. That's how many he has on this USB drive. Now, essentially, the encrypted USB thumb drive is known as IronKey S200. That's the model of it. And essentially what happens is if you forget the password, you can type in the password once, twice, but the 10th time, it erases all data on the USB drive.
No.
Now, essentially, Thomas has already spent a bunch of time trying to do this himself. He spent weekend and weekends. He's hired people to come on over to be a part of the cracking efforts, and he's typed in 8 incorrect passwords. So he only has 2 left to be done.
Oh gosh, this is
Now-
like something out of a movie. Like you know, the crazy guy with the thing and the team of people. We can do it, and then there's like these politics.
But here's what's crazy: is this company Unciphered reached out to Thomas, and they're in Seattle. So essentially, this is a team that has spent 8 months buying devices off of eBay and all the sources they can of exactly the same model of this
Okay.
device. They encrypted it, and they've actually opened up the circuitry, figured out how you can take care of the low voltage when you plug it into something so you can get more codes to put into it to unlock it. And they have 100% proven that they can unlock the 702 Bitcoins that he had
That's genius.
given to him.
They've like literally gotten the same thing that is the problem, and then they've proven that they can fix it.
And they can. Now, this guy, when they reached out to him through a mutual,
He was like, nah.
he said, no, I'm sorry, I can't have you decrypt this for me. I have 2 other companies I've engaged with, and I've promised them if they can uncrypt it to get a portion of the Bitcoin. So I don't want to pay you to have this taken care of.
Listen,
Now, this is 702 Bitcoins. Now, this guy received 702 Bitcoins because he did a video in 2011 called What is Bitcoin? And essentially, the Bitcoin distribution was like $1 a pop. So they paid him $70 in Bitcoin at that time, which is now 7,002 Bitcoins after the forks that they've had in
it's
different items.
7,000 Bitcoin.
So they have 7,002
Okay.
Bitcoins. I remember it was worth like $1 at the time. So when they originally got it, so it wasn't worth anything.
Okay, then why don't these people who have the answer go to the companies that he won't not hire and be like, hire us to help you?
I have no idea. But okay, now let me just tell you, this is like having a lottery ticket. Let's say I just won the lottery, right? I have $235
freaking
million
money.
dollars that this is going to guarantee me. I get with a lawyer. I let this company come on in, take it, and say, hey, well, you have to promise me you can do it. And they are so comfortable and confident that they know what they're doing, that they are willing to do this. Any legal terms they need to. They know they can find a way to essentially hack into this device and get the keys that need to be done. And he said no. Essentially, in past interviews, Thomas has said that his 702 Bitcoins were left
7,000.
over from a payment, and he's just going to wait until someone finds them.
Okay, buddy. Good luck with that, I guess.
So my question is, does Thomas really have that many Bitcoins on this
Oh, you
type
know
of
what?
deal?
That's a really good question.
Because all of a sudden he did this handshake deal with 2 companies that he said he would give them a portion of that. Is those 7,002 Bitcoin, is it really maybe like 200?
Oh, is it
so
just his
he's-
word that the 7,000?
Yeah, so nobody really has it because nobody knows because it would be on his USB drive. So I think
This is
I
literally a
was
movie.
reading into
It's a
this. I'm like,
movie.
because how could you not get $200+ million? I don't care which company you have an agreement with to work on this. I would probably go to them. But maybe if you're kind of fudging a little bit the numbers, you go to two companies and say, hey, if you figure it out, I'll give you a portion. And then you can kind of stay out of the news and not be in the news. So.
It's like he sent an email to one of these companies saying, "Hey, I have 700 Bitcoin on here," and he accidentally typed another zero and it said 7,000, and now everybody wants to help him, and he's too scared to be like, "Oh wait, it was a typo." I
Yeah, and so this
actually have that
Unciphered
much."
company, they spent on their own time 8 months worth of effort to figure out how to do this. Now, they are getting a name for themselves as being kind of this ethical hacking. They have been shown and they've worked with other people that have encrypted drives that they've also been able to take care of. So they've kind of gotten a name for themselves. But the story will continue to linger to see if this guy has companies that figure out how to unencrypt it, or is the story disappear? Like
Okay,
thin air?
do you have like, if you had to bet a time frame for this to resolve itself?
Well, it
Like,
should have been done. So if I owned this other company,
I know,
I would have
but
called
in
it.
your brain, like, when do you see this story, this guy finally either
Well, Thomas is kind of a celebrity in the cryptocurrent
just because of this
hostage
incident?
because of this type of deal.
Oh.
I think he may have become a little bit of a celebrity overnight
Well.
based on this, and it may not be exactly what is all it tends to be on the surface. So there we go. Now, story number 2. Tell me all about this. This is your story.
Okay, well, story number 2, we have Tinder. Friends and family can help you make a good match. It's often said that romantic partners need the approval of our friends and family, which I agree, by the way.
Okay.
That's true. But now the dating app Tinder is taking things a step further by enabling friends and families of users to recommend potential matches. Under the Tinder Matchmaker feature, users will be able to grant others access to their accounts for 24 hours so they can suggest likes. Tinder says it makes dating a team sport, but one dating expert warned there could be privacy concerns. It is not uncommon to discuss swipes or potential matches with friends in real life, or even hand the phone to someone else to handle swipes for a while. I mean, surely, Nathan, you have 2 young sons. You have an idea of what that is. You
Yeah.
know? You're like, oh, this guy looks great. And they're like, well, for me and my friends. I have roommates. We do this all the time. Like,
Okay.
a lot of times I'll find somebody on one of my profiles and I'll be like, hey, I think you'd like my friend or my roommate or something like that. And so I think this is a good
You
idea.
think this is a good idea?
I'm going to get into this because
Okay.
because
Because when
hold
I
on.
think of it, it almost sounds like it's kind of like a bad. To me, let's say I go out on a date with a gal.
Uh-huh.
I'm on this app, right?
Yeah.
And she's okay, but I don't want to go out with her anymore. And then I pass her on to Joe Blow, my buddy. It kind of seems like you could go out with somebody and you kind of just keep on passing it from friends to friends to friends. I have concerns about this.
Okay, well, from what I understand, though, it's not like that. It's
more getting their opinion on it.
yeah,
Okay.
you're not, it's
Yeah.
not post-dating. You're not recycling dates, Nathan.
Yeah.
That's not what's
Oh, you're
happening.
not recycling.
Not
Okay.
recycling.
It's
dates.
like marriage. What do you call that?
A marriage
Matchmaking?
counselor?
It's
No,
just
not
matchmaking.
Matchmaking.
Oh, matchmaking
yeah.
person. So it's
just
like
having your friends and family.
Will
do
Smith
the-
and Hitched. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, do it for you instead
Okay.
of you being the one to swipe yes or no.
Okay.
My
Okay,
sister does that.
So here's what it is exactly. The matchmaker feature sends profiles to a group of selected people chosen by the user. So like your dating account, you have a group of people that you've selected that you can show profiles to, and they can give you their opinion on them.
Okay.
Which is kind of more what I think you're hoping for, but less of what I want, because I kind of wanted it to be more like, oh, I'm scrolling and then I see somebody that it thinks I would like, and I'm like, oh, this is not for me. But I think I know somebody who would like this, and I wish I could just send it to them.
Like transfer it, side
Yeah.
swipe, like
Yeah, where I don't have any interaction with this person, but I
Right.
just send them off to one of my friends that I think that would be their type. But the way that this works is that once you, the individual, have gone through your likes and stuff, you can send it to people in this group and have them review it first before you make a super decision.
okay. Now that's not way too much.
It's not too much. It
No,
sounded like a
come
big
on.
deal.
Back in the olden days when I dated, we didn't have thinking this is
The olden
technology.
days.
You just go up and ask somebody, "Hey, do you like me? Do you not like me?" And That
yeah,
was
but
it.
didn't you have to like ride horses to school? Like you have, there's.
Wow. No. We still had buses. We didn't.
still
Well,
have
I'm not quite
buses?
that old.
Okay, so the group that you've selected to send these to cannot like or reject potential matches. They can only make recommendations.
Okay.
You're not sending them to people. They are simply giving you feedback.
Oh, I like
That's
that person.
okay.
She
See,
seems really nice.
see, and so to me, I'm kind of like, okay. I mean, maybe this will work, but I kind of wanted the way more aggressive. Like, oh, you should take this guy. Like,
you should write into Tinder. Maybe they'll get
well,
that
what's
taken
funny
care of.
is Tinder to me has always been the casual hookup dating app, never the long term like relationship app. And I feel like they're really trying to change their image right now. I've seen so many different and like this too. Like, oh,
yeah, because they're getting a lot of backlash.
I know.
You know, nobody wants to use Tinder.
So
now.
they're trying.
Is that what they're trying? They're trying to be better. Doesn't everybody use Bumble? Isn't that kind of like the safer site to use?
It
Hinge?
depends on
In
location.
theory.
I feel like it's been on location. I have friends all over the country, and really, what's most popular really depends on the area. Over
Okay.
where I live, I think it's pretty popular. Hinge, I feel like, is popular, and people have more trust in it unanimously, like throughout.
Okay.
But it really just depends.
So
on
no
the area.
longer having a Netflix and chill type of Tinder date is.
No.
Yeah,
They're trying to get away
trying
from
to
that.
change their image, and by doing this, they're implementing the "let's involve your friends and family in your life decisions" aspect of things.
Oh, okay.
So, their competitors like Bumble and Hinge have already launched similar features, but they have it where, like, I know with Bumble, it's shared outside the app. So a lot of these other things, like, you can share things outside the app.
Okay.
But I believe like the Tinder thing, they're trying to make it all in app, so it's their thing.
Okay.
Which I mean, it should be very interesting. I'm very interested to see.
So when Mike starts dating again here, so then I'm gonna have a Tinder app. I can just tell you, my wife will be excited about that. So be like, "What the heck you doing?"
Yeah, the feature will be rolled out in 15 countries, including the UK and the US and Australia, before global in a few months' time. I'm very interested to see if this changes anything, if they can remake their image. If it will be interesting to see if Tinder, will be able to put themselves up there with Hinge as like the dating app that actually works.
Okay.
You know, thinking about it, I think what's going to happen is that, you know, personally, a lot of my parents when they hear about Tinder or any of these dating apps, they're like, oh, it's probably so simple. Those people are probably very nice. Like, oh, it's not going to turn out badly as it is. And you're like, no, Mom, that's not how it is. This app, I think, will give, or this new feature will probably give them insight on what it's really like, because people do present themselves in the best way possible on those
Yeah,
apps.
I have some friends that I wish that I could be there with them as they're swiping to give a little feedback. Because,
Right.
girl, what are you doing? So maybe this will be helpful.
All right, there you go. All right. Thank you so much. Now we're going to move on to story number 3. AI-powered decision platform. Listen to this, Donovan. Donovan is this new AI, and they're like ChatGPT is the AI that all the common people use. The government is using a platform called Donovan from Scale AI's military chatbot company
Do you
that
know
is
why they called
engaged
it
with
that?
them. Was that?
Do you know why they called it Donovan? Except for that it sounds big and scary.
So that's correct. Let's go to Tom Geiken, our Tech Time correspondent, with more on the story.
In a world where technological superiority is seen as paramount in geopolitical conflicts, Scale AI aims to secure U.S. technology in the AI arms race against China. 26-year-old CEO Alexander Wong and his company Scale AI say the stakes are high, with Wong highlighting the critical role of AI in maintaining the U.S. military's edge over its rising Chinese counterpart. Scale AI has secured substantial contracts, including a $249 million deal with the Department of Defense, making it the most significant player in the rapidly evolving landscape of military AI. AI is here to stay, and the U.S. government wants to be ahead of the curve.
Military and AI in the same sentence.
So
kinda
that's what
scares
we
me.
got. AI-powered decision platform Donovan, which is Scale AI's military chatbot, is owned by under 30 individual owns this company. Now, if you could do a James Cameron Terminator 2 Terminator movie script, this is it.
But
You
it's
got
like
a young kid
20-year-old.
has this AI's type of deal. He's convinced the government that his AI is better than ChatGPT. He's better than any of these other services that are available. And essentially, this is going to help make powerful decisions so that individuals can get an X or an Y decision within the matter of seconds. So essentially, Here's an example. You have a torpedo that's been launched into an ocean. The AI can say, do we want to intercept that? Do we want to do that immediately? Do we want to see where it's going? Do we want to send a warning sign first to people?
Is the AI saying it to itself, or is it saying it to humans who then make the
currently
decision?
right now, it's going to be human interaction that it gets these choices. And instead of them having to grab on the horn and say, hey, let's do this, 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 and this, they can hit A, B, C, or D, and then all of a sudden those will execute the commands in the computer itself to proceed with the decision
What if you
that's being
accidentally
made.
hit the wrong one?
Well, let me just tell you, Wang acknowledges the complexities, highlighting the defense sector acquires unique expertise. Despite the challenges, Scale AI asserts that its involvement with the Pentagon stems from a desire to contribute to the U.S. global leadership, navigation, and complexities of the 21st century. He says Scale AI has no conflicts with decision-making. It just gives you the best available opportunities to make
Supposed to help with
decision.
efficiency, essentially.
It is. Will Scale's AI foray into military applications mark a turning point in the global balance of technology power over China and other countries, or will it contribute to the intense cycle of AI-fueled arm race? The answer will shape the future of the geopolitical conflicts in the areas dominated by artificial intelligence. And we're here to discuss, is this a good thing or a bad thing? It was evident this is going to happen,
time
right?
will tell.
So now all of a sudden you're going to have an AI making some decisions on if bombs are going to be dropped or if we're going to do military deal here, if we're going to do this. It sounds like a good decision. And AI has been used for many, many years. All it is AI helps you make decisions quicker.
It's just been getting a bit more popular in everybody knowing what it is. And so it feels like this hot new topic that's kind of explosive, not to be punny.
So is that there's a lot of backlash that's going out regarding this. Is the backlash because we're all scared of AI? Is this something that was already happening? Or is
I'll bet you it was probably already happening.
I would expect so.
I would think it's already happening.
I know people that are in the military, and they spend a lot of time with drones now.
Yeah.
They do a lot of simulated attacks. They do a lot of stuff that's where you don't have to have a person on the ground itself.
Yikes.
So is this just kind of a software application that instead of you saying hit button A or hit button B or hit button C on an organizational chart of items you need to do, that it just comes and says, here's your 3 items. What would you like to do?
Well, I understand people's concerns. I have some of my own, but at the end of the day, it's kind of like if everybody else in the world but us is already doing this, we're not going to have a choice by the end of the day, so we might as well be able to keep up.
And that's what I think we're kind of at, right? I think China's doing this. Russia's doing this. I think tons of other places are spending time understanding how this goes. And, AI is being used for just about everything right now, so you might as well jump onto it. Well, that ends our top technology stories of the week. Moving on, we have Letters, the spooky edition next with a few of our own Tech Time staff. So buckle up, tech enthusiasts. We're going to drive the show 88 miles an hour into our next segment. You're listening to Tech Time with Nathan Mum. See you after this break.
This is Mark.
And Greg.
For Copiers Northwest.
With a terrific offer.
Called Printer Care Plus.
It's simple. Buy HP printer cartridges from Copiers Northwest and we'll service your current printers for free.
That sounds too good to be true.
It's made possible due to our HP Copiers Northwest relationship.
Copiers Northwest is an HP Platinum partner.
One of only 2 in the entire Northwest.
And now with Printer Care Plus,
Copiers Northwest will provide free printer service.
As long as they purchase genuine HP cartridges from Copiers Northwest.
That's right. IT departments no longer have to service printers.
Or fix paper jams with Printer Care Plus.
They can focus on more strategic initiatives.
And let our experienced technicians keep their HP printers up and running.
Sounds like a love-love relationship for IT departments.
Don't get too carried away. So how do they get more details on Printer Care Plus?
Call Copiers Northwest today, 206-282-1200, or visit copiersnw.com.
Copiers Northwest. New ideas, new solutions.
All right, welcome back to Tech Time with Nathan Mum. Tech Time is an hour weekly technology show that talks about current technology in a simple format without having to geek out. Brought to you by myself, Nathan Mum, and Mike Gorday, and Alessandra, and Mark. We got lots of people in here today. Mike is on a little bit of a training vacation, so we'll see him next week for of course, the always exciting dress-up Halloween special event.
Can't miss it.
That's his favorite episode. He loves dressing up so much, so he can't wait to have him back.
For everything that you bring him to put on.
That's right. Okay, well, We just had our first whiskey tasting during the break, and now we have Mark here to tell us about what we are sipping in our pick of the day. Mark, take it away.
Well, put that bottle up on the box so all the YouTube viewers can see it.
There we
We
go.
are drinking New Riff Balboa Rye. So from the New Riff website, in addition to the flagship New Riff bourbon and rye, the distilling team has stretched their creative muscles over the years, producing a number of what are called specialty whiskeys. Balboa Rye is one of the first specialty whiskeys made by them, released in the fall of 2019. Balboa Rye whiskey offers shimmering notes of spiced fruit, unique from the flagship New Riff Rye. Now, this, of course, is made by New Riff and their distillery in Newport, Kentucky. It's a straight rye. It's aged at least 4 years. It's 100 proof. It is $60. And it is 95% heirloom Balboa rye.
All right, so explain that. That's
the Mark
is that
Mumble.
Rocky Balboa? Is that what
It is not anything to do with Rocky Balboa.
That's what I started with. That's what I thought.
And nothing to do with Balboa in California, the beach either. So
Okay.
sorry for all you out there.
Taking all the fun out of this.
And 5% malted rye.
Okay.
And it's about $100 on the secondary, but
How much did you pay for it? $60? $69?
I paid a little less because I got a great deal on it. It was a guy that it was an open bottle that I got from a friend.
Okay, yeah.
Ooh,
So far, let me just tell you, I am enjoying it. So
I like it. I like it.
I thought it was very well done. There was no bite to it, but I know if I say there's a bite to it, that's going to be construed sometimes as cheap whiskey or watered down whiskey. But I did not feel that at the 100 proof level. So I thought it was pretty good.
All right. That's great to hear. I'm glad you're enjoying it. And you too, Alessandra?
I took a sip of it before we started. But I told Nathan, I was like, this is like a manly drink. Like it's good tasting. It goes down smooth. It's got a nice aroma. It's just good. I like it.
All right. Well, that sounds not just like a manly drink, but a person drink.
A person drink. There you go. There you go.
All right. Well, we'll talk amongst Mark's Mumbles more about what Balboa Rye means and how this is more unique for a rye than normal.
Ooh,
Okay.
exciting.
All right. There you go.
All right.
All right, with our first whiskey tasting complete, let's move on to our feature segment. Today we bring back the funny yet informative reading of emails that we have received during the week. This includes scam, phishing emails, and all-out mistruths disguised as legitimate emails in the segment we call Letters.
Letters, we get letters. We get back and back of letters. Oh, letters, we get letters. And the letters all have songs.
All right. Okay, letters. All right, so we got what is it? Each of you guys have two
We've got
letters.
lots of
So we got
stuff.
lots of letters to talk about. There's a big list of items here. So I'm going to start out first, then we'll go to Mark, and then we'll work our way down. We'll just kind of keep on going down. So I got an email here to Nathan Mum from at OpenSea_offer. Now, OpenSea is a NFT company that Tech Time Radio has NFTs at. So our NFTs that Mike drew for our show are available to purchase there. And I received an email from XMOL Lopez at pre-dessert, wow, .org. And they said that they have a new offer for me on OpenSea AI that is available for my items. It says right here.
Pre-dessert,
Yeah.
like with one S or two S's?
It's with one S.
Okay, well.
So and there's a hyphen, and it looks like the E actually has a ellipsis or something above it, so it's not quite spelled correctly, which would be your first sign that we're in some problemed areas here. Now, with that, it says see your offers. There's a link on there that you can click on, and when you click on the link itself, it takes you to a website that says that your username and password have expired. To see this offer, you need to type in your username and password.
Dang.
And then when you type it in, it says that is an incorrect one for OpenCI. But don't you worry. We have your OpenCAI linked with your Google account. So it then takes you to another screen that says if you log in with your Google account, you'll be able to retroactively be able to get into your account itself. So it tries to capture not one password, but two passwords.
Not bad.
In this trick itself. All right. We'll move on. We'll go to Mark next. Mark, what do you have there?
Oh, my email is from Verisite.
Oh, this is a real interesting one.
I like this one.
Okay.
This one is increasing I'm seeing a lot more of this style.
Okay. Yep.
So this is where it's like, hey, Nathan, you have a Verisight survey available for 1,000 points. Very nice logo on it. Everything is laid out and says, hey, just click here to log in your Verisight account. And this is because you opted in for surveys. So and you're like, so either you're like, oh, I did something, but I can't remember. Let me just click on it. Or it's like, oh, I don't remember doing this. So let me click on this to tell them, no, I didn't do it. Or let me opt out. But unfortunately, those are not valid links.
So look at what it does here. So it provides you a link here. It says log in to take the survey. So now when you log in and click on that to take the survey, look at the next screen that comes on up.
Yep. It's fun. So the next screen says, if this sign-in is not by you, you should change your password.
So what happens is no matter what you put in there, it says, okay, it says, you know what, we're going to take a look. Your account's on hold. We'll let you know in the next 15 to 30 minutes if we've released your account. Now, all of a sudden, then you get an email into your email account that you've clicked on with this email next. And look at what it has highlighted here. So this is kind of like a scary thing. You're like, uh-oh, did I click on it? Should I not click on it? And it has terminology that you'd be familiar with. Sometimes you get this from Google and Facebook. But read the exact areas on there because I continue down this little treachery road and things happen.
What do you mean? If this sign-in was not by you, you should change your password and notify us by clicking on this link.
Okay.
If the sign-in was by you, you can follow this link to let us know. And I'm sure the link goes to the same place.
So it's a little bit different. So
Oh,
it's
not
a little
quite.
bit,
Okay.
but
All
it's
right. Tell me more.
essentially asking you to do the same thing. So most of those, they say, if this is not you, please contact us. And they normally give a contact number, or they say you can fill out information. And a lot of the Facebook and the Google ones say if this was you, no action is needed.
Absolutely.
This one actually has an action. It wants you to take an action if this was you. So when you go to that, it says, congratulations, we understand that you're getting this. And then they give me another $10,000 bonus points. So now I'm getting like 20,000 bonus points. Thank you for alerting to this. Let's have your login. You have now been reactivated, and we can have you log in with your username and password. So you type in your username and password again, and then it would give you 20,000. No matter what password you type in there, it doesn't work, and it errors
But
out.
even if it gives you 1,000,000 bonus points, what does that mean?
Absolutely
nothing.
Nothing.
That's right.
It's very
Except
tricky.
they now have some passwords that you use.
That's correct.
And they'll probably try them on your email first.
They'll try it on your email, your social media accounts, and everything in between there. All right. Alessandra, do you have one next?
I do. Okay, this says that it's from subscribe invoice number 18076533165.
Oh, okay.
With the email address of fgdrsgfd@gmail.com.
At Gmail. Okay, I was Gmail.
Very, very formal and official, as you can see.
Gmails are free, so yep.
Yes. And then let's see. It was received at 11:51 a.m. So that's not an abnormal time.
No, so it's not in the middle of the night. So at least they're doing a little bit better.
The subject is recently purchased invoice number, and there is an attachment.
Oh, there's an attachment.
There's an attachment with a really sketchy name for the attachment. It has a bunch of numbers and letters, and it says, esteemed Norton user, NathanMum@hotmail.com.
So now I don't use Norton Utilities at all, and that's a utility that I would recommend no one using, not even my in-laws that I may not appreciate all the time. But I would say nobody should be using this service at all. Any of the McAfee, any of these Norton tools, they're pretty much laid on the side of the street. They're no longer needed for your security of any of your computers. So if you're paying for some Norton LifeLock, if you're paying for any of these things, stop those subscriptions. Everything nowadays you can have available with your operating system and your standard security processes. So when you click on this PDF, it says you've been billed, and I don't have
you've been billed for the membership, and we value and recognize, and blah, blah, blah. Thanks for... We appreciate your support, but the attachment itself is the problem. Right?
So the attachment is a problem, but then they give you a 1-800 number.
Oh.
So now I call this 1-800 number. Now, if you got a 1-800 number to call, always be a little leery about it. But the first thing you do is if you hear 1,000 people's voices in the background, like a call center, please hang up the phone. You know that nobody in any of these large companies, if this was a McAfee, a Norton, or one of these companies, you're not going to have 1,000 people sitting in a crowded space talking over the top of each other. And so you call this place. Somebody with very bad broken English tries to answer it. And he says, what are you calling for? Because he has no clue, because they're all just these big scam locations for
Yeah.
many different things. So I say, I'm calling in for Norton. And the guy says, okay, let me transfer you to somebody. The same exact voice. He picks up, oh, hey, I'm here with Norton Support. How you doing? You had a problem here? Let me get your credit card and we'll reimburse you for that information. So I start giving him a fake credit card number, and I say, okay, I'm looking at my bank now. Then he says it'll be 2 to 3 days until they process it. Thank you very much. And essentially, if I was not knowing of that information, and I was someone that was a little bit more naive and gave them the correct credit card, I would have just given them all the access to purchase whatever he wants on my credit card or bank card, whichever I had available.
What does it do if you click on the PDF?
So the PDF just had, this was not a PDF that actually caused harm to your machine.
Okay.
This was a PDF that just had that 1-800 number in there, because if your email is scanning for 1-800 numbers as scams.
Did it say how much it charged you? Because it doesn't say in the email.
It did not say anywhere how much to charge me.
Oh, wow.
So if you notice, it was a very blank statement.
Well, I'm just laughing because it says esteemed Norton user, and they use your Hotmail, your full Hotmail account. It didn't even take your name part, the Nathan Mum part, and get rid of the @hotmail.com. No, it's just esteemed user.
Yes.
Nathan Mum @hotmail.com.
Yes.
Because that's your name now.
Because that was very simple to put into the script. They didn't have to do any additional work. All right. Let's go back over here to
quick.
Tomorrow. Okay. What do we got here?
Well, Mike DePalma really likes you.
Oh, he does. Yeah.
He sent you multiple emails with his picture in it.
In the matter of a couple minutes,
Couple minutes from different companies.
Oh, is that amazing?
I love that.
Okay.
And they're very nicely written, very professional, bullet points. It looks like a professional email, and both companies are known companies.
Correct.
With their correct logos.
Yep.
And he just wants you to register for their cybersecurity webinar.
Correct. So what's interesting in this email for the cybersecurity webinar, one email must have got sent a little bit sooner than they should, because one of them has a link to click on and sign up, and the other email doesn't. You remember those picture pages you used to get at the doctor's, the doctor's office, where they'd have two pictures and you try to see what was missing and what wasn't missing? Really difficult not to notice this. Essentially, when you click on one, it has a link that is available to go to the webinar and sign up, and the other one, it does not have a link available. So he was just a little too quick to send out the information. I did click on the cybersecurity link. It took me through about 7 different other cybersecurity items. It wanted me to sign up for lists, wanted me to do surveys, wanted me to do something. The company that's esteemed with this would not have done that and would not have sent those links.
Absolutely. So this is more just collection gathering so they can resell your name and contact information for other lists.
Yeah, and maybe have me sign up for a couple items. So it's more of a kind of a publishing clearinghouse type of scam, I'd say, more than anything they're trying to get information from. So, not that if you don't like publishing clearinghouse and you think it's legit, I don't want to say that it's not legit, because I'm sure Ed McMahon still comes and gives you the big check at the front of the door.
I used to try every year.
Did you try for that?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, there you go. All right. Do you have one last one here? Let's
I do.
All right.
It says that it is from Robinhood Finance at a bunch of letters at nameportados.com.br.
Yeah, so it's not even an American domain for their email. Yep.
No, and it just says Robinhood Documents PDF. And then on the top, it just says a really big Robinhood, but it's just in big text. There's no kind of fancy thing. It's just a big fat Robinhood, Confirm your info by Tuesday, October 24th, 2023. Now, mind you, this email was sent on Tuesday, October 24th, 2023.
So essentially, I have less than 3 hours.
And it was sent at 10 a.m.
Yeah, so I have 3 or 4 hours to get this information back to them.
Yeah.
It's always an urgency item when people want urgency.
Your account is missing some info that we need to comply with financial regulations.
Oh, yeah.
Please take a moment to confirm your info today. If you don't confirm by Tuesday, October 24th, 2023, we have restricted your ability to buy, sell, and withdraw funds from your account.
All right. So I don't have a Robinhood account. Robinhood is kind of one of those sleazy cryptocurrency accounts. I know they're based in the Pacific Northwest also, but I don't want to be too mean to them. But no, I do not have an account. So again, our spooky letters and information here is people are getting more and more sophisticated in what they're sending out in their spam mail.
Does that mean one of you guys is going to dress up as Robin Hood next week?
No, not the Robin Hood is no. Robin Hood was all about taking from the rich and giving to the poor, and they have 2 suites at the Kraken Arena, so they're really doing a good job of giving back.
Well.
So I don't want to say that out loud too much. All right, continuing. What was that?
You got another letter?
No, I have no more letters.
Well, I was going to say something that is safe for our viewers to do.
Yes.
Especially if they're on YouTube, is smash that like button.
Okay.
Like, subscribe.
There you go. That's
There you go.
Absolutely correct. Make sure if you're watching YouTube, I think we have about 700 people on right now. So if you're watching us, subscribe. You get more information. You always get our updated YouTube when it gets posted with all the great information. And if you watch the live show, you get to hear all the bloopers and stuff that get edited out on the later editions. All right. We're going to head out to a commercial break here. When we come on back, though, you're going to really want to listen to our technology fail of the day. It is a big one.
Pretty bad.
Instagram is in some big, serious trouble. So I am Nathan Mumm, and we'll see you after this commercial break.
How to See a Man About a Dog. It combines darkly comic short stories, powerful poems, and pulp fiction prose to create a heartbreaking and hilarious journey readers will not soon forget. Read How to See a Man About a Dog, Collected Writings, for free with Kindle Unlimited. Ebook available on Kindle, print copies available on Amazon The Bookpository, and more.
And now, let's look back at this week in technology.
All right, we're going back to October 24th, 1861. Western Union completes the first transcontinental telegraph line across the United States, making nearly instantly access for communication cross-country. Now, this is the first time that it's available specifically from Missouri to California. It used to take previously 10 days to have any information transferred via Pony Express. This was a milestone in electrical engineering and the formation of the United States of America, as it serves as the only method of near instantaneous communication between each coast and was implemented completely during the 1860s.
That must have been monumental.
It was probably pretty big. Keeping in operational faced problems with the installation. These are the items they had to deal with at that time. Inclement weather in the form of lightning bolts, strong winds, and heavy snow damage that would take down both the poles and the wire. Rubbing on the poles by bison from time to time would send down sections of the telegraph, essentially to their demise. The system also had to be rerouted through Chicago to avoid Confederate attempts to cut off the line in Missouri to disrupt communications among Union forces during war times. And the Native Americans soon started to realize that this also was a way to have the armies that were coming into their land no longer being able to communicate. The funny thing is, as soon as this was installed, 2 days later, the Pony Express shut down all operations.
Wow.
This is kind of like the, I would say, Netflix versus Blockbuster. All of a sudden, you're no longer needed. Well, that was This Week in Technology. If you ever wanted to see some Tech Time history, with over 2 years of video podcasts and blog information, you can visit techtimeradio.com to watch our older shows or join the Tech Timer Facebook group to talk with us live all the time. We're going to take a commercial break here. When we return, we have the Mark Mumble Whiskey Review and our Technology Fail of the Week. See you after the break.
Hello, my name is Arthur, and my life's work is connecting people with coffee. Story Coffee is a small batch specialty coffee company that uses technology to connect people to each product resource, which allows farmers to unlock their economic freedom. Try our Medium Roast Founder Series coffee, which is an exotic bourbon variety that is smooth, fresh, and elegant at storycoffee.com. That's STORI coffee.com. Today you can get your first bag free when you subscribe at storycoffee.com with code TECHTIME. That's STORI coffee.com.
The segment we've been waiting all week for, Mark's Whiskey Mumble.
Well, hello,
All right.
Nathan.
This is fantastic. This is really good.
Good.
So, Balboa, it's not based on Rocky, huh?
No.
Okay.
But before I
So
tell
why?
you,
Tell me, Mark. Why should I care then? If it's not Rocky Balboa.
before I get there,
Yes.
Alessandra, you're jumping the gun. What are we celebrating today? I always celebrate every day. What is today that we are celebrating?
Oh, I don't know. Is it some pigeon's holiday from
7-day countdown to Halloween.
I'm sure this is something Nathan's going to be excited about.
Okay. Well, what is it?
It is National Bologna Day.
National Bologna Day. Oh.
Yeah, everyone's favorite processed luncheon meat has its own day.
Oscar has a first name. It's Beal or whatever it was. Yeah, I remember that. Remember that song when I was growing up?
Oscar Mayer Wiener.
Oscar Mayer Wiener's held
This
there.
is
Wrong
bologna.
one. Okay, bologna. All right. So bologna, are you a Miracle Whip guy with bologna or are you a mayonnaise guy with bologna?
Mayonnaise.
Oh.
I don't do Miracle Whip.
Oh.
Either of those. Just
No. That's processed. That's adding processed on top of processed.
I know.
stuff.
I mean, if you're gonna, and then you have the fake American cheese on top of it, with
You
the
know,
Wonder
let's
with
get
Wonder
back-
Bread.
Let's get back to bologna. So that
Yeah,
is
that
named after an
explains a bit.
Italian city of the same name, but there bologna is known as mortadella, which is a sausage with bits of lard and peppercorns in it, and much better than bologna. Actually,
I was going to ask, is it actually bologna?
No,
or is
no,
it-
it's not processed. It's
Okay.
real stuff. It's real stuff.
Okay, so Italian. We do still
American-
have something Italian in there.
Yeah. American bologna, as you notice, is distinctly different, but no less loved the world over.
Okay.
Especially when it's fried with the crispy edges. I do like that.
Ooh, that's good too. A little fried spam.
Well, let's move on from processed food to our all-natural. Let us chat about New Riff Balboa Rye. Its mash bill is similar to the flagship New Riff Rye, except they have changed the standard rye of what most ryes are using to the Balboa Rye. Now, Balboa Rye is an heirloom grain handed down from many generations and has never been genetically modified.
Okay, that's nice.
Corn farmer Charles Fogg has been growing heirloom rye on his family's farm for many years. His chosen variety was the Balboa Rye, which dates back to the 1940s. And it's a rye that's popular in Indiana.
Okay.
Do you know why they called it Balboa?
I don't know why they call it Balboa, but I do know that the grain is a little smaller than the modern varieties, and you get a little bit less yield, so it's a little bit more intense in flavor.
Okay.
Okay, yeah.
Now, Charles Fogg offered this to New Riff, who distilled it into a rye whiskey, probably the first time in decades that Balboa has been made into a whiskey, and quite surely is the only example of one on the market today.
Okay.
Now, this rye, for me, has some unique qualities and is a bit surprising, especially it being 100% rye. There's nothing but rye in here.
Okay.
Now, with this combination of both blue and red fruit, it leans strongly fruit forward with interesting spice notes of clove, wintergreen, and nutmeg. It is one to go out and hunt down? No.
Really?
No. Is it one that, if given a chance to have a pour? Yes, absolutely. It's not revolutionary or mind-blowing. It's just a nice pour to have on the bar when you feel like a rye with interesting subtleties.
Okay.
But it's been a few years since it was only had one release, so to go down and hunt this one out it may be difficult.
Okay.
And it's not like, oh my gosh, this is mind-blowing that you need to go find this bottle. But hey, if you run across it,
But if one of your friends has a bottle, and
one of
he's
your friends
offering
has a
it to you-
bottle, you see it at a bar, or you can find one at a reasonable cost, then I think it's a nice addition if you're a rye lover.
Okay.
I think I'm a rye lover.
I think
now.
I am too. That's
Yeah.
pretty good. All right. Well, that is fantastic. You know, it's just kind of like pairings of two people here, Henry Draper and Thomas Edison, both American scientists working on electric light together. That's a great pairing like that. Way to go. All right, now let's get ready for
We're
our
educational
technology
now.
fail of the week.
We are out of time. Congratulations. You're a failure.
Oh. I failed, did I?
Yes.
Did I?
Yes.
Did I?
Yes.
All right, speaking of this week's technology fail, it comes to us immediately from Instagram. Instagram says it's sorry for adding terrorist to some Palestinian users' bios. Meta has apologized for adding the word terrorist to biographics and other information that Instagram users describe themselves as Palestinian. Meta said it fixed the problem that briefly caused inappropriate Arabic translations in some of its products. We sincerely apologize that this has happened. The platform also faces accusations of suppressing content voicing support for Palestinians during the Israeli-Gaza conflict. Some users say they have been shadow banned, and shadow ban is essentially when they don't allow your posts to be available to public. You still are able to post them yourselves, but essentially that is no longer available for other people to see. The tech giant acknowledged a bug that had affected some stories, but said that it has nothing to do with the subject matter, and they hope to have that replaced soon. Instagram user at KANman1996 had written in his bio that he was a Palestinian, followed by a Palestinian flag and the word Ahmadek in Arabic, which translates to praise be to God in English. However, after clicking the translation link, viewers were able to see the translation as praise be to God, Palestinian terrorists are fighting for their freedom. This was replicated many times in social media posts, including many posts on X that had Meta's platform communication director then get on and say, Andy Stone said, that he is sorry and this was a significant bug that is being reduced, and they will no longer have to worry about restrictions on the stories or anything against Palestinian individuals. There you go. On Thursday, though, Meta and TikTok were sent formal requests by the European Commission to find out more information specifically regarding information limiting their spread of disinformation and illegal content in the wake of the Hamas attacks. We talked about this last week on Tech Time, a little bit ahead of time before the European Commission decided to put a sanction against them. Well, that was our technology fail. We're going to now move into our Nathan Nugget.
This is your Nugget of the Week.
All right, so this is going to be an interesting story. So, X, formerly known as Twitter, do you love it or hate it? What do you do? Do you like X?
I actually wasn't very much of a Twitter user before 2021.
So, love or hate? Either no. Okay.
I don't really care.
All right. Mark, love or hate?
Don't care either.
Okay, don't care either. All right, okay. Odie, what do you say? Love? Okay.
I'm here for all the drama on Twitter.
Okay, so here we go.
That's valid.
So guess what? X is here to stay. Pebble, a Twitter alternative that was launched during the Musk era, is now shutting down. And it's appropriate at the 1-year anniversary of Elon's takeover of Twitter. X has not decreased in popularity, but has increased. The initial impact of a 5% drop in users has been increased by a 16% overall usage in the platform now known as X. Pebble was recently going by a name called T2 and announced that it was shutting down essentially on November 1st. We're sad to leave. Pebble said that it shut down and it was equivalent to try to take over and be an alternative to Twitter, but did not get enough followers. They only had 1,500 followers that were able to be on regularly. Blue Sky, Threads, and Spill also make up a handful of the many Twitter alternatives to launch to serve users who are looking to escape the Musk platform. But guess what? The space is crowded because Threads, the app created by Meta that heavily relied upon its impact in Instagram, has also failed to stand out and make an impact in this space so far. Blue Sky connected with the co-founder Jack Dorsey, his multi-million-dollar investment from Twitter, and staff that essentially was there to compete against the Twitter brand, and X only has 1.7 million users. And last month at this time, they are looking to have a name change also because they are not getting the adoption rate that needs to be taken care of. Mastodon, we've talked about, founded in 2014, has received a lion's share of the attention in recent weeks and has gained lots of supporters. Mastodon does now have 2.5 million active monthly users, but has a niche market into the geek and certain subtopics that essentially users come to. Hive Social, founded in 2009, was available in Apple and Android beta apps, is now also looking to shut down as they do not have the adoption rates. And Post, we actually have an account there for Tech Time Radio on Post, founded by former Waze owner, CEO, Mr. Barden, aims to still continue to fight against Twitter, but all signs keep on pushing back to says X is strongly growing. And now, let's go to our pick of the day.
And now our pick of the day for our whiskey tastings. Let's see what bubbles to the top.
All right, so what do we have here again, Mark?
We have New Riff Balboa Rye. This is one of their new specialty ryes that they introduced back in 2019.
Okay.
It's a straight rye, 4 years, 100 proof. 100% rye with 25% of that from the heirloom Balboa rye and then 5% malted. And it went for, at the time, $60.
$60. All right. Well, Alessandra gave it a
2 thumbs up.
Oh, Alessandra finished her glass and she's got 2 thumbs up. We're gonna our Applebee's post show. We're gonna have to make sure we have lots of French fries and stuff to take care of. That's a pretty big kick there. I am absolutely,
what, Nathan? Thumbs up, thumbs down.
I love every whiskey. That's what I was gonna say.
You don't love every whiskey.
I love just about every whiskey, and this one again, I would have on my bar. It'd probably be on my second shelf. Probably not my top shelf, but it'd be a second shelf. I like this taste.
Yeah,
I'd have it on second shelf. So absolutely a thumbs up.
For something that I'm not supposed to go out looking for, I'm honored to have been able to sip some of it today.
It's pretty good. All right, it's not necessarily on your shelf that you're looking for, but you'll have it there until you drink.
Yeah, I'm glad I had it. I'm glad I tried it. It was nice.
Okay. All right. Well, we're just about out of time. We want to thank our listeners for joining the program. Listeners, you want to hear from you. You know what? If you want free technical advice, this is the best thing. Stop paying $90. Stop paying $179 for technical advice. Join our Facebook group, Tech Timers. All you got to look for Tech Timers, TechTimers. Ask for information, and we'll be there to help you out. Now, remember, the science of tomorrow starts with the technology of today. We'll see you guys next week.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for joining us on Tech Time Radio. We hope that you had a chance to have that moment today in technology. The fun doesn't stop there. We recommend that you go to techtimeradio.com and join our fan list for the most important aspect of staying connected and winning some really great monthly prizes. We also have a few other ways to stay connected, including subscribing to our podcast on any podcast service, from Apple to Google and everything in between. We're also on YouTube, so check us out on youtube.com/techtimeradio, all one word. We hope you enjoyed the show as much as we did making it for you. From all of us at Tech Time Radio, remember, mum's the word. Have a safe and fantastic week.